What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Kart-It. We're back here this week with the GoPowerSports off-road go-kart build. Stay tuned to watch us install the 420 Predator, install some performance mod from GoPowerSports, and get the thing broke in. Alright, since the last video, we've welded up the motor mount. I'm just cleaning up some welds because I did all the welding myself because TIG wasn't available. The first thing we're going to do is tighten up the axle. We need to make sure the wheels have the same amount of axle to ride on each side. Just tightening up some retainer rings on the bearings. And then tightening the bearing cassettes. Now we're going to set our wheel spacing. I like to place the lock collar on the axle and then slide the wheel on until I get it right where I want it. Then I simply remove the wheel and tighten that collar. Now we'll install our key. Slide our wheel back on. Tighten the retaining nut and repeat for the other side. Now we're going to install the engine. We're going to set the engine on the engine plate. Install our motor mount bolts. And now we can finally align our sprocket. All you got to do is tighten the lockdown bolts. Now, I think it's time for some engine mods. We're going to remove the stock airbox. There are two nuts on the front, just like your standard Predator carb, but there's also a bolt on the inside of the airbox. There's that bolt. Just removing the old fuel line so it's easier to install the new one later. This adapter is almost identical to the Predator 212 air filter adapter. Simply tighten up the two nuts and that's it. Then we can install our air filter. And finally, install our pre-filter from GoPowerSports. Now for the exhaust header. Simply remove the 2 nuts retaining the stock exhaust muffler. Save your gasket. Install the header and tighten using the same 2 nuts. Now we got a new fuel tank from GoPowerSports, as well as a little fuel shutoff valve to go on the bottom of it, because the stock fuel tank had a weird vacuum shutoff that we don't need for this engine. We're just setting the fuel tank in temporarily so we can run the engine. I'm going to slide on our new fuel line. Going to run it right where the factory fuel line was ran. Nice and neat. And finally, we're going to install a fuel filter, because we learned our lesson with the mini bike. We're going to add 1.16 quarts of oil to this Predator not 212, the big 420. And now all that's left is to add gas to the fuel tank. And now we're ready to start. There she goes. You want to let it run for 20 to 30 minutes to break in. Sounds really good. Okay, so the motor mount is all welded up where we want it, nice and center for better weight, and it looks better. We got the motor installed. Got the intake and exhaust mods from GoPowerSports on there. Hooked up the fuel tank. Got our axle nice and tight. We're almost ready to ride this thing. In the next video, we'll get the chain installed. We'll do the wiring. And we'll be just about there. We'll almost be ready to go. So make sure y'all tune in next week so you can see this thing run and in action, and I honestly think it might do some wheelies. Maybe. We'll see. So, like I said, be sure to tune in next week. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. And until then, guys, see you later.